Him and her, it's your boy Sanders Tisdale. Guys, welcome to tonight's show. I'm glad you stopped by. Usually I would do the show with my wife, but the thing about it is that she's a little bit under the weather. You know what I'm saying? The COVID bell has gotten everybody, has gotten her as well. And so, there's been some kind of distances right now. I know a lot of people still, practice what they practice, but like I said, man, I don't play with that, man. So, COVID is COVID. So, guys, like I said, we got a special guest on the show with us tonight, and he also a special co-host on the show with us tonight. And I'm going to bring him in right now. But before I do that, I want to thank you guys for stopping by again, and make sure you check us out here on Hot Topics with Him and Her. Check out broadcasts that we've had before. We're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, you name it. We out there, we streaming. So we'll be back at you in a couple minutes. But when we come back, we want you guys to check it out here on Hot Topics with Him and Her. Hey, we're back here. Hot Topics, Him and Her. It's your boy Sanders Tisdale. Like we said before we went to the intro, the wife isn't here tonight to do the show. We got a lot of hot topics to talk about tonight. The wife has been feeling under the weather, like I explained before. COVID's got the bug on her, so we've been kind of doing that distance thing. As you can see, your boy is 100% healthy. And the thing about it is all in the blood, baby, here. We'll tell you, Hot Topics with Him and Her. Check us out. We do a lot of things here. We have a lot of phenomenal guests. If you missed the last show, we had Jotham Cole. I don't know if any of you guys are smokers or have problems with trying to kick the habit of smoking. This guy was the one who invented the actual thing that they treated smoking with, a treatment aid, which was Chantix. So he was the guy who invented Chantix. He came on, and it was a phenomenal show, and you guys got to check it out. But tonight, I have a good friend of mine, a good friend to the show, creative producer. This guy helps us out with a lot of things here on Hot Topics with Him and Her. We are going to welcome Kenneth J to the show. I'm going to see if I get him on there. Kenneth J, if you're on the show. There we go. Kenneth J on the
Hello,
show, baby.
people. Hey, my brother from another mother. You already know.
Hey, there's a lot of things we want to talk about on today's show. And one of the things we're going to talk about as well is the fact of you guys all know that when it gets to a point to where, we talk about relationships, we talk about things that makes the mind click. Ken, you know that yourself. You know what I mean?
Yes. we have these discussions, not even online. So we just decided to bring through this format so you guys can be involved in the conversation as well.
Exactly. So, guys, we're going to start the show off tonight with a hot one tonight. And like I said, this is Hot Topics, so we're going to get it kicking right now. Here we go. Topic number one. What is the thought process behind getting pregnant to keep your current boyfriend or man? Now, guys, I want to know out there right on the board, because we're going to be having chats. Guys, call into the show as well. 585-210-3917. I want to hear what your thoughts are. What's the thought process? Ken, give me a little bit about what you think about that. Now, I know a lot of women say, you know what, this is a show. You get a couple guys on there and they're bashing about women, but we got something for the guys too tonight as well.
Exactly.
So, Ken, give me your thought on this.
Well, Big Tiz, I'm thinking there are many thought processes going on, but I would say the number one thought process is of course. He's paid. He can take care of him and her. She'll have a check coming in for 18 years. But in New York, it's 21 now. So, hey, be careful up there in New York. And my son was 18 and they changed it right when he turned 18 to 21. So I felt some kind of way about that too. But nevertheless, let's get back to the the thought process behind these women that are doing this. Not all women. We're not saying all women.
No, it's
Let's
not
just
all women.
clarify
It's
that.
no.
But we know that this happens. We
Right.
know that this happens, and it's like sperm is a commodity to some of these women, you know, and they make things and are attached. I mean, the rest of their life, you basically attached to this person because of the child, and but I gotta say, some of them might not. They go in thinking like that, but then the fellas twisted on them. It's a whole nother twist. You know,
Right.
I've heard some situations where things were, you know, got trapped, dudes got trapped or whatever. I'm not even gonna call it that because he took the initiative and laid with her unprotected or whatnot, or he could have been strapped, and who knows? There are a lot of things, turkey basters out there and everything. So that's for another story. That's for another story. But let's get back to the topic at hand. You know, let's give it. There, dudes will flip it on it where they didn't want a baby. You
Right.
know, and that leads to that question, which is another good show topic for you. If a man says he doesn't want a child, and the woman uses this to get pregnant, what should really happen in that? Because a lot of dudes will flip the script on them. I know there's a certain situation where I'm not going to say any names, but the woman told him that, you know, it wasn't his baby. And 18 years later, when the dude was grown, she told him it was. But the guy was like, "I'm done. You ain't my son. He didn't have nothing to do with it. Even though the son was his, he didn't have nothing to do with none of it." And it's crazy to play them games with a child life like that, ladies. It really is. But
But I agree with you totally, brother. You know, and I don't want anybody to think that we on here just bashing the ladies because, like you said earlier, it takes two
it takes
to,
two
to lay there and let this happen.
and create.
But the process of this is what I'm talking about is like when you have in your mindset that, you know what, you know, I mean, when you do it intentionally, that's what I want to get to, when it's done intentionally. And to me, that's not the best thing to do because the man is not going to want to be there. Why would
Exactly.
I mean, because if he feels he can't trust you in that instance, how's he going to trust you with anything else that goes on in your relationship?
Preach, brother.
Hey, it's all about trying to give that form of trust anyway, and that form of trust is because it engages a young kid, and he's the one that has to deal with the ramifications of a relationship that doesn't work out, a relationship that, you know, you got two parents that don't trust each other. Now they don't want to do anything with each other, and especially the guy doesn't want to do anything with the women. And for God's sake, let's hope that he wants to be there at least for the kid, even though it wasn't the kid's fault.
Exactly. That, I think you hit the nail on the head, dude. That trust issue, especially if a man told you, you know, and he don't want any kids, and some women will be like, well, if you don't want them, you're gonna be doing whatever to protect yourself. But if you lie and say you on birth control, and he's telling you up front that this is not something that should happen in his life right now. He doesn't want this right now, you know. And a lot of men stand up, but if it's not something he wants, and he telling you this, and you go and do that, it comes back to what you said, Big Tiz, that trust thing. And that's going to mar that whole situation from the beginning. It has nothing left in it because there's no trust there.
Yeah.
Especially if he's forthright and honest with you, you know?
Dude, got plenty of writing on the board. Let me see if I can get that on there for you as well. We have people say sometimes it's an insurance policy to receive money for 21 years.
There it is.
If the father isn't around. What? Very possible. Very possible. And it's sad to say that because the kid's the one that's in the middle of this whole thing. And another one right on the board, Renee. Why allow self to be put in that situation?
See, but that goes back to two consenting adults. The man is telling the woman, I don't want this, before they even go there. But if she's got her other mindset going on, that kind of alleviates that in a sense. Sorry about that. What was her name again? Renee?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Dude, they popped the boards are popping tonight, guys. Like we said, make sure if you get a chance, call in tonight. 585-210-3917. Blazing hot, call in. And also, we got people writing on the boards here. Miss Tyshana Clark.
Exactly.
She says both need to take the necessary precautions to protect themselves. I 100% agree. I do agree with you.
I do agree.
But I'm talking about intentionally.
Conniving.
Now, don't get me wrong. Now,
sneaky.
It's always that possibility that like you said, it wouldn't be intentional if the other person had took that regards to take care of themselves as well. And I agree 100%. I agree with you 100% on that.
That comes back to Renee's point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and that's where we get that topic from. And also the fact is that, the pregnancy, you gotta use your head. I mean, that's what it comes down to. Have respect for the kid, have respect for yourself, have respect for the individual that you're together with.
Yeah.
And like you said, being truthful with each other. And if you ask me if I want a child, you want to let's do this thing together. Okay, hey, do it together, or maybe no, not right now. I got other things going on, and the level of respect that I have for you, that you came and said that to me and asked me first, that's huge.
That's huge. That is huge.
Right.
That's trust.
Huge.
That's trust building.
Exactly.
Foundation. That's foundation for relationship right there. She cares about what I think.
Exactly. Guys, like we said, guys, that's what it's all about here on Hot Topics with Him and Her. Make sure you guys check us out. Call in 585-210-3917. Go ahead, Ken. I want to hear what you got to say.
I'm just saying it's Hot Topics with him and him tonight, y'all.
So. Oh, yeah, him and him. Again, I want to thank my beautiful wife, Valerie, is not feeling up to the task tonight. She's not feeling well. She's getting better, and she'll be on the mend, so she'll be on the show soon. Back in the saddle again. And Ken was nice enough to stop by the show tonight, so we love Ken. Thank you for checking this out, brother.
Sending you love, Val. Get better.
Oh yeah. All right, here's another one for you guys. Another hot topic coming.
Another hot topic tonight. Okay.
This one's called Too Close for Comfort. Woo! Should it be okay to date and eventually marry a close friend of your former or ex-spouse?
Ooh, that's a hot one, bro. That's blazing. That's blazing. I'm like, nope. No, but it could have been that they was meant to be together. So who knows? She just had to come through the brother before she got to the other brother, or the sister before he got to the other sister.
Guys, I want to get your feedback. Let me see. I'm getting a lot of stuff on the board.
What they saying, Big Ten?
Oh, she said I'm saying the number too fast, so she's gonna call in. So I'm gonna say the number again. I'm gonna put it on the screen as well. But I'm gonna get this question out there again. Too close for comfort is this topic right here. Should it be okay to date and eventually marry a close friend of your former or ex-spouse? Call in 585-210-3917. I want to hear it. Hot topic. Wait, I'm about to put this up on the board because I skipped that too fast for myself. Oh, here we go.
Boy.
Blazing hot call in 585-210-3917. Now let me get it. I'm looking at some other stuff with a board. One of my friends, Dave, he's putting it out there.
What he say?
I can't say what he was saying.
Oh, it's like that.
But like I said, it's all in there. It's all on here tonight, guys. Check us out. We want to hear you guys. Call in 585-210-3917. We want to know what you guys feel about it. Is it too close to comfort? Should it be okay to date and eventually marry a close friend of yours or former spouse? Ken, let's get your feedback totally on that one.
Oh man, I gotta go. No, I think there's so many women out in the world, and so many men, vice versa, because woman will chase another man too. It goes both ways. It goes both ways. So, but I think it's just too many other individuals out there that you can get to know. But in saying that, if two people were meant to be together, maybe they had to meet through that brother or sister. Who knows? Oh,
I can agree with that. I can agree with that, brother. But there's one thing I will say. Because to me, I can't do it. I mean, you okay, let's say
Oh yeah, I can't do it. I can't do
I
it.
know what you're saying.
Yeah.
But let's say, like I said, you start dating this other individual. This other individual has family, friends, and all that. How does it seem when you're out there dating this individual? Hold
And
on, we got to call in. So let's see who we
let's
got
see what they
calling in
say.
here. Oh boy, here we go. I don't know if we can hear you. Hey, can you hear us on Hot Topics?
I can hear you guys.
Oh, who we got on the line tonight? Let's hear it.
We got a live one.
Oh, Renee.
Oh, we got a live one.
Oh, we got a live one on the line. We got a live one.
Yes, sir.
Now, Renee, let's go back to this question here. It's too close for comfort. That's the name of this question. And it's should it be okay to date and eventually marry a close friend of your former or ex-spouse? Come on, Renee. Give us the feedback.
Heck no.
She said no.
Heck to the no.
Why?
Why? Because if you're a close friend to the ex, so you use that word friend. You didn't say acquaintance.
Right.
A friend is a sister, is close to you as a sister or a brother.
Correct.
Ooh.
I'm not close.
She preaching, boy.
Nasty on everybody's behalf. That's nasty.
100% agree. But
I agree.
But Renee, yeah, I'm hearing what you're saying. I'm listening to you, and I agree with you. But there are a lot of people out there that feel like, you know what, we're not together anymore, and he's my ex, and me and him. You see it in these movies all the time. You see it in these movies where people say, you know what, and we're not dating anymore. Next thing you know, she's out there dating the other friend or whatever, and they're getting married. I mean, but is that the movies or can that be real life?
That is real life.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's art imitating life, not life imitating art.
Jermaine Jackson do that.
You said who?
That's nasty.
Who?
Jermaine Jackson.
Oh, Jermaine Jackson. Yeah, he's slept with Randy's wife.
To his brother's wife.
Yep.
What?
Randy, yeah.
Come on. Come on now, for real.
He
I
did.
didn't know
and
that.
had babies with her. And had babies with her.
Married his brother's wife.
Oh,
so his kids are brothers and cousins at the same time.
That's past nasty, and anybody doing that is nasty.
Ooh.
Preach, Renee.
That's like your sister or your brother.
I agree 100%, and that's why the question came up. There's people out there that think that this type of dating is okay, long as there's history, and I was with him, and we're not together anymore. So you're saying that's a no in your book, and no way you have it.
It should be in everybody else's book.
Oh boy.
Hey,
that is just straight right up nasty. I mean, come on, let's keep it real now. There has to be some level of self-respect to even keep you from even thinking about it.
100% agreed. 100% agreed. There's got to be some kind of respect. Kenzo, I want. Oh, people writing on the board as well.
Can't be fishing in your brother pond, man.
Right. I like that.
Or your sister pond.
Not even respect to the next person. I rein it into as self-respect.
Right. Somebody wrote on the board, a close friend is someone they've probably confided in about the relationship. Nah, no. She said, nope, a big no for me. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's why
you can't be telling people your business. Because, they might want to try out what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I got my boy on the board. He says, well, there are variations. And I love my boy wrote that. I don't know the variations you're talking about. You got to write something else, brother.
He needs to call you and tell you the variations.
Hey, Renee. Renee, I'm telling you.
You said that number so fast, I couldn't call you on that other one.
Hey, keep your phone by you.
Which I was talking about earlier.
First question.
There's a whole lot to that now. Each party, I don't care if a woman tell you she on birth control.
Right.
You got a responsibility to protect yourself.
100% agreed. 100% agreed. 100% agreed.
You do.
Hey, well, what you call it? Hey, Renee, I got some other people that said they're gonna try to chime in. So keep your phone next to your hip like a sidearm. You know what I mean? Because we got some other stuff coming in for you.
Oh, I'm going to look. I'm calling y'all tonight, but I'm looking about all right.
All right, Renee. Thank you, girl.
Thank you, Renee.
Yeah. Hey, guys, the topics are flowing tonight. Like we said, we got a guest that's coming on at the top of the hour, too. So we're going to keep it flowing with the hot topics. Now, another topic that's coming up, they want to jump on real quick, right? And if you want, you can call, like I said, 585-210-3917. Talk hot topics is here out tonight. Are America's kids? You know what? Let's talk about that. You know what?
Yeah.
Here we go. Are America's kids being brought up by their parents or brought up by an iPad or computer? Now, we all seen it today where parents are out there, just put the iPad in front of the kid just to make the kid shut up. But you know what, Ken? That's the main thing that's making the kids grow up. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think a lot of that is happening. I think it started with the TV back in our day. Well, in the 40s, not my day because I wasn't born in the 40s. but when the TVs came out, I think that became what they call it, the one-eye monster, and the iPad and the computer are just evolutions of that. But I think people, instead of giving them a book to read or something, but with an iPad you can read on that as well too. So hopefully they're using apps where the kid can read and is learning something substantial as opposed to just watching or watching art, which is going to become their life later in years, or you know what I mean. Right. But hopefully they're just learning. They're learning something. If they're learning something, then I can't say it's all bad. You know what I mean? But depends on what's on it and what they're watching. That's really going to govern and dictate the way things shape out and turn out. So that's my take on it, Big Tiz. What do you say?
I agree 100%. I think it's the fact of what are you using this iPad for? And I've seen it before, and it's not, and don't get me wrong, sometimes you're on a trip or whatever, somebody say hell no.
Yeah.
But you're on a trip. And I see people do that to just to knock away the time with kids or whatever. Granted, back in the day we didn't have that. Like I said, you would sit there, you'd be singing these songs,
in the back seat,
doing A, B, C, D, and that's where a lot of and that's where a lot of the creativity is lost, where people don't do that anymore. So the easiest thing to do is to just give them the iPad and be done with that. But sometimes it's what's coming through that iPad that's the distraction. It's what's coming through that the TV shows that they're watching on there.
Housewives of Atlanta.
Yeah, that's right. I couldn't read the rest of the question, but today's TV shows, Housewives this, Housewives that, the internet. I mean, and Lord knows what's coming through the internet. You know what I mean? Back in the day when we used to, want that little extracurricular activity, you know what I mean? You had to go searching through closets and stuff.
Yeah.
Find VHS tape.
Nightstands.
Yeah. Now, brother, you can just go in there and get it.
Yeah.
Brother, the lines are buzzing from all different avenues. Let me check out some of them.
Okay.
Boy says, well, we are in the new age of technology, and people in general are doing it. And if you are raising your kids right, you can have educational apps on it as well. I agree with you. I agree with you 100% on that. 100% on that.
No, I don't understand. When they have them in the car, right?
Right.
Big Tiz, you come on with me, man.
Okay.
Like side by side.
Oh, okay.
When you're in the car, because I know if I'm looking at my phone reading, I get car sick.
Right.
I feel like I want to vomit and nauseous. Do the kids feel that too? When I'm looking in the phone or iPad and the car is moving, I'm getting nauseous. It's done. I'm feeling like I'm about to.
Right. I see what you're saying, but the problem I don't think they have with it is because they become used to it. You know what I mean? So once you get used to doing something, and it's not changed and it's ingrained in you, and we all know, like I had a picture that I put up on Facebook a long time ago where my grandson was washing his car, and it was funny because his father was washing the car, so he would do it, imitate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now you got these kids giving it, the parents are giving it to them, and in essence, so what comes through that iPad, whether it's good or bad, that kid thinks it's okay because mom gave me this, daddy gave me this, but the fact is, talk to your kid. I mean, don't let the iPad raise your kid. Don't let the iPhone raise your kids. And matter of fact, you've seen too many problems come from people having iPhones and having iPads. I mean, when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
Another one that says the homes have been opened up to the world of craziness.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Definitely.
That's huge.
Yep.
That's a huge statement, and that's correct.
Yeah. It is. So you definitely got to monitor that stuff, and you definitely got to have parental control on it, and not let them access any apps or that aren't for them, or you shouldn't even have them in there if you're going to let your child hold it, because kids are wise and they will find a way to get into something, everything.
Exactly. Hey guys, like we said tonight, make sure you call in, check us out. We did have some calls coming in. I think they kind of banged against each other because it knocked it right out of the app.
Yeah.
But I opened it back up. So there are a lot of things coming on tonight. And actually, here's another good question, another good topic I want to ask you guys out there. Now, this one is interesting. Here we go. If you get rings on your doorbell at early in the morning, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, is it okay if it's a female acquaintance of yours, or if it's somebody you know? Is it okay to expect intimacy? Is it okay to expect a lot more is going to go on than just watching Netflix? I mean, Kenzo,
We're gonna be making our own movie, man.
And
we gonna be Netflix. We gonna be Netflix.
We gonna be Netflix.
2 or 3 in the morning, you come into my house. Come on, man.
2 or 3 o'clock. And the reason that was a good one to bring up was because you remember Mike Tyson got in trouble for something like that a long time ago.
Yeah.
Where the girl came over to Mike Tyson's house at whatever it was, 1, 2, or up to his hotel room, whatever the case, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and Mike got out of control because he was still probably doped up or whatever he was doing when he was a boxing.
Yeah.
And and he got out of control, got himself in trouble. Now I ask you, Ken, what is your thought process on that? I mean, if a woman comes over, like I said, I'm gonna read the question.
Yeah.
Totally. If a woman comes over a man's house or anybody's house an acquaintance house, and you know what I mean by acquaintance, somebody that
you kicking it with,
right?
Yeah.
At 1, 2, or 3 a.m. in the morning, should she be mad if he expects heavy doses of intimacy?
I don't think she should be mad. I think. Well, I'm gonna tell you, like Tal and I watch Law and Order, SVU, and Olivia. This tripped me out because I was like, if you and a girl, this is a law. I had to look it up too. You and the girl are being intimate. You're in there. You're doing what you do, and she says stop, and you don't stop. They call it rape, but you're already in the sex act. Is that crazy?
I mean, don't get me wrong. You have to. Let me see. Well, you know what? You have to respect, I guess, that individual's wants or needs.
Right when you're there, Tommy. You want to stop? Your toe shaking.
I know. But we all know how many times we tell our kids, no means no. I mean, if I tell you we go in the store and I tell you no means no. Just like
I'm gonna watch you on this one.
I mean,
I'm just gonna watch you on this one.
I mean,
it blew my mind that is even a thing. That is even, like, you're there about to finish and she tells you stop, and I'm like, wow. But that's crazy in a sense too, where I know women have gone through a lot of things, the women's suffrage, all kind of things. But it's like they always go from the pendulum to the other side of the pendulum. They never create balance in the middle. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
always from craziness to craziness.
Well, yeah. And I
Can
mean,
we
don't
get some
right somewhere in the
balance?
middle. But I understand. Let me see. There's a lot of people writing on the board. Let me hear what it's saying. It said it should. Okay, this is from earlier. He said there should not be any expectations, even if somebody does come over at He's talking about early in the morning, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
There shouldn't
You
be
know,
any expectations.
well, I got to get my boy to call in on that one, but he also commented on the fact of he said
she waking me up out of my sleep.
It said it's rape if you don't stop, and I agree, but it's a hard
thing.
point to come to. I understand
Yeah.
I understand you, and a lot of people are saying, well, you know, she should have the right to change her mind. 100%
In the middle of it.
In the middle of it. Yeah, like I told you, man, when their hands in, just like when you tell a kid no, you got no means no.
That brings me back to the Popeye movie, man. When Olive Oyl was saying, no, don't stop.
Right.
No, don't stop. No, don't.
Right. I remember that.
So what is the interpretation behind that? If you're in the act, I'm just saying, how do you know what that means when you're not even, you know?
No, I know what you mean. And coming from men, you know, once it gets to a certain extent, it's almost like blackout mode. You know what I mean? I mean, and not defensive saying that you should take advantage of anybody.
Exactly. Not saying that at all. We're just speaking the truth.
Right.
A truth.
Yeah.
And men, I venture to say any man who's in the middle of that and that happens to them and it's just like a wow moment.
That's what it's all about. That's what I'm talking about. Hot topics, him and her. These are hot topics. Makes the mind think. It makes you seriously think about what
before you get in those situations. Before you get in those situations, and if you find yourself in that situation, think twice.
There you go. There you go. All right, guys, let's get up with the next question here. Why is it that some men? Why is it that some men have a hard time getting weaned off the baby bottle? And that means wanting their wife or their spouse to be their mamas. Now, I'm pretty sure if my wife listening to this, she'd have a lot to say. No, she probably be typing on the board, but
oh boy.
But you know, but hey, you know, we got call it what it is. You know, just as much as we talk about the other side, the other sections. My wife isn't here to defend the other side, so you know. But there are guys out there.
Out there.
Yeah, they're not looking for. They're not looking for a hardworking woman or ABCD. They don't care if you got 2 jobs. They want you to make sure you come home and take care of daddy. And that time, Ken, I mean, there are a lot of guys out there like that, bro.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that just. They just, I don't know. I guess in a sense, I'm just going to talk about the situation where it may be derivative of Big Tiz. I think a lot of, given how a lot of people have grown up, some of them are in just a mother home and the mother was always a strong woman doing everything. And they think that the woman that they meet is going to be like their mom or something. I think a lot of that has a lot to do with it. And they don't know what it's like to be a man or what, because they haven't had a man around in their life. So they just think the woman is the one that's going to do everything. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, I agree.
That's where I think it comes from. Yeah.
That could be because you get a lot of guys out there that they, you know, like you said, they've been either don't have that mother figure there. So they sometimes they look for, for their spouse or significant other to fill that role as their mother because they didn't have that mother. So, you know, they're looking for you to fill that void. And I feel bad for the young ladies that have to fill that void because it's hard enough taking care of yourself and then having to take care of a grown man who wants who wants you to play mommy to him too.
Yeah.
So so it's a hard pill to swallow. It's a hard thing to grasp onto. And I mean, a lot of you ladies out there, you're hardworking, you do ABCD. And my wife, at times, I tell her she comes home and she works hard, and then, and I'm watching TV sometimes, and I don't have the gumption for this or that, but she'll go from what she's doing and then come home and then clean up the whole house. And just letting her know I do recognize it and I do see it at times, and have the house spotless. And I sometimes think to myself, I wonder if she thinks that I want her to baby me, but that's not what it is. It's just that thought process of watching her do that, and I recognize and support her for doing that. But there are a lot of guys out there who just they don't want to work, they don't want to do ABCD, but they want their mommy to go to work, come home, cook for them, feed them. And then when it's time to bed,
wash
put them to bed.
Clothes.
Yep, wash their clothes and then put them to bed. I mean, it's sad to say, Ken, but that's what a lot of these guys are like out there.
Yeah, it definitely is. I know my wife is an amazing woman. She's and I do a lot because we both work from home now. But she's like in the meeting. She's a hard worker. So I do most of the cooking in our house, most of it. But we go out sometimes too and eat a lot. But I do most of the cooking and the cleaning now, and the washing clothes. I'll do stuff because she's a busy woman with her things, and because I can start and work however I want to work, So it works for us. It works for us, and I just want you to know, Talisha, if you listen, I love you, and I'm grateful for you, and I appreciate all you do. All you do.
Oh yeah. That's what it's all about. And guys, like we said, call in. We want to hear your feedback. 585-210-3917. Get some feedback from you guys. We talked about a lot of hot topics on the board here today. And you know what? We'll go back through them real quick. Let me see. Okay. The thought process of getting pregnant to keep a current boyfriend or man. We talked about too close for comfort. Should it be okay to date and eventually marry a close friend of your former spouse or ex-spouse? That's crazy.
Yeah, that is. You're asking for trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
You're asking, and then the family. You got to think about the family. What's going to happen with the family? And it's
Dude,
just like
I agree 100%. And that's the thing. What I try to understand that question, because that was a real hot question there. And, the fact is that how do you go around this individual knowing that you was married to this person, and you go hang around with
his family or her family, whatever.
and
Vice versa.
it's just a rough thing. And don't get me wrong, if you do it, God bless you. You do what you do, but the fact is that it's kind of hard, if we hanging in in the same circles. There's going to be a lot of animosity, and some people will fight their way through it and get through it. And eventually, if you want your family to succeed, or you want your kids to succeed, you're going to try your best, even if you're the person that's on the bad end of that. You're going to try your best to make it sure so that your kids don't get hurt.
Yeah.
So your main thing is your objective should be your kids.
Should be your kids,
right?
Yeah, because
but it's a hard
in
pill
some
to
situations.
see.
They have their siblings are their cousins, can be their cousins in some situations. We've seen it in one of the most amazing families in the world.
I never knew that.
Yeah, I knew that, and
wow.
I was like, wow. Yeah, I was like, wow. He married her and had kids with her, and I was just like, wow.
Well, that goes to show. Like I said, a lot of people out there, and we all do. We look at the stars out there, the actors, the actresses, or whatever, and we hold them high on this pedestal. And like you said, again, and the things that they go through, some of the things, like I said, it'll make your hair curl, it'll make your eyebrows curl. Yeah. And for the simple fact of, well, that's all I got left. These two, it'll make that stuff curl. And that's why I said it's always unfortunate that their stuff plays out on TV and our stuff plays in just personal life. But the personal life, we see that on the news. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Where you got families strifing with each other, or this person after that person, and it's a hard thing to see. And you guys out there, much respect to if that's what you do, hey, and you're making that thing work. God bless you. I mean, I can't I can't go that way, and there's a lot of people that can't. And the other questions
I guess they say it ain't no fun if their family can't get in. That's a joke, y'all. That's a joke. That's all. Don't take it to heart.
Let me go back over the last
talking about their mindset, for them to do that.
Let's go back over the last couple of questions. Are America kids being raised by today's TV shows, housewives, this and that, the internet, the iPad, and every other thing out there? 100% agreed. I mean, Ken, you agreed a lot as well on that.
I do. I think I like I said, I think it started back with TVs and maybe we can even go back to radios, because they used to sit around the radios and listen to stuff and are fed whatever they're being fed. And who knows how things may have influenced them back then to be who they were and when they became adults. It's just it's continuous cycle of something is always going to grab your attention. But are you going to be the parent there that's going to direct them and let them know that this is what you saw? I wouldn't have allowed you to see, but somehow you saw it. But we need to discuss it, sit down and talk about some of the ramifications that can come from the decisions like this,
100% agreed. 100% agreed.
Yeah, that's the same thing that goes into the next question, the ramifications of the choice. If a girl is going over a guy's house for that reason and then stops in the middle of it, it's like, is there a guarantee? I'm just speaking facts. I'm not trying to be crude or anything. It's like Mike Tyson. He didn't stop,
Right. Yep.
It's okay. There's a situation you put yourself in, kind of, but even though he should have stopped but that's the thing. You got to know these situations.
Yeah.
Think about it twice.
That's what he said. He said it was situations as well. And yeah. And like I said, and I do agree, no, it's
no is no.
Sucks. No is no.
Yeah, no is no. I kind of, to tell the story of other men who may have been in a situation where it happens. It hasn't happened to me, but just seeing some of the stories that have happened in the news, like with Mike Tyson, even on the SVUs, Law and Order, some of the situations, it's interesting how that stuff plays out, because in some of the cases, they just looked at the woman like she was lying about it or whatnot. You know what I mean? That she was making it up, and that's sad. That's very sad. And she could have very well been telling the truth. And then there were some situations where she said, "I don't know if I was or not."
Right.
And it's like when you get those murky situations, it's like it's kind of, I don't know. I don't know. But it makes you think twice about everything, as we should. Maybe 3 times, maybe 4, maybe 5.
Oh, I don't know what happened there. Let's see where you at. There you go. You still there?
Yes,
Okay.
Yes,
we jumped out for a minute. Yeah, no, I totally agree. And a lot of people just got to realize, and they got to live to the simple fact that, life is made of choices, and make sure that you make the correct choices.
Choice for you.
Also, one thing I want to talk about as well, real quick, is that you touch base on people not believing people, and and you, when you look in the sports world, you look at Deshaun Watson for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
He had what was that, like 23, 24 counts of women saying, that he was going over. Not no means no. That they were saying no, that they said no and whatever, and he kept
Bill Cosby situation.
Yeah. But and people don't believe someone when they say, this happened or that happened. And I've heard from both sides of the aisle. People knocking certain people for saying that or whatever. Do you believe them? I guess it's a lot of it is, I don't know. It's a hard thing to play off. You know what I mean?
It's
You got
murky.
to be very careful because there are both sides of it. There are people out there who mean wholeheartedly what's going on. This is what happened. This guy's he's got a serial problem. You know what I mean? That's going on going on out there.
And then there are innocent guys in jail.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
It was a power trip for her to have control over him. You know,
right.
I mean, it goes both ways. Both people. Who said it in the beginning that both people have to think about it? Somebody put that in the comments.
Yes, it was way up in the front too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey guys, like we said, fantastic night here on Hot Topics with him and her. Again, I want to thank my wife Val. You know, it was hard for her. She wanted to come on and do the show tonight, but could not do the show.
Yeah.
She was not up to it. You know, COVID took control of her. You know, we did a little bit of staying away from each other because you know, I don't want no COVID. And the thing about it is I'm trying to stay healthy, brother. And
I'm glad you're safe too, bro.
Yeah, and then my boy Kenzo came on tonight to help me do the show. He did a lot of great things. We're looking for a guest to try to come on tonight. I don't know if he could make it or not. Trying to see if I could have seen him trying to tap in, but I didn't see him at all. But you know what? We keep the show rolling here on Hot Topic with him and her. And another thing as well, we're gonna start off. I'm gonna give you my email. So if we use your question on our show, I'm gonna send you guys a coffee card. Just drink some of me from Hot Topics with him and her, me and Val. So we're gonna make sure you check it out. Our email is hottopicswithhimandher@gmail.com. Give us your feedback. We want to hear great questions that we can use on the show, great hot topics that we can use on the show, just to feed and give people just something to think about. Like we said at the top of the show, you know what? We don't go out there and say you do this or do that. We just want you guys to be, you know, have your own mindset and just say, you know what? That's the way he thinks. That's the way this person thinks. You're entitled to what you think. I'm entitled to what I think. And you go by what you think. That's what the whole world's supposed to be made of, is your freedom to have your own mindset, Ken. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The thing is thought is everything. And your thoughts are going to dictate your life. And whatever you think, when it manifests, you better be prepared for it. Because if the problem is, a lot of people do things, I'm not going to say without thinking, because subconsciously they thought about it somewhere down the line. You know what I mean? And those choices, some choices have ramifications, and people got to know that going into any situation, really. Like myself, I went into joking tonight about a situation that probably was not really too much of a joking thing, but the point I was trying to make in that was that things can go both ways. There are innocent men in jail, and there are women who truly have been raped by some monsters, and it's a murky situation. So what the point I was making was that we need to be cognizant of our choices, because choices have ramifications. And if I offended anybody tonight, I do apologize. I send love and light. I always send love and light. That's what I'm about. But I do know that in this dichotomous nature we live in, there's always choices, and people have a choice, and they're not always going to choose what you think they choose. But and you have to respect that, you know, and because 100%. They're the ones that have to deal with the consequence. So I deal with the consequences of tonight. I love you guys, man.
Yeah, like I said, brother, you did a phenomenal job. And you guys, thanks again for checking us out here with Hot Topic with him and her. Val will be back. The wife will be back for the next show. Ken, you the man. Thanks for checking us out, guys, tonight. Make sure you check us out. We're on YouTube, Facebook. We are Twitter. We out there doing it hard here on Hot Topic. Instagram. Hey, it's all out there. And make sure, like I said, if you want to get your hot topic told on the show, make sure you check us out. Make sure it's clean. Make sure it's something that, you know, we want to be a respectable show to people out there. So make sure it's clean and something that makes people want to think. So guys, again, to my boy Kenzo, thanks for coming on the show tonight. And guys, we'll see you next time on Hot Topics with him and her.
Big Ziz. Are you on? Are you still on? You're off, right?
Let's see.